G'day folks, you're Ilana
You're Sean.
and we are the Down Under Cruisers. We're sitting here at Houston Airport waiting for our connecting flight to Tampa, and we just thought we'd have a bit of a chat for anybody coming out of Oz and coming into the States at this particular point in time.
Particularly the first time.
Yep. So,
Like us.
question, how did you find, what do you think was the thing that was the most concerning or interesting or questionable thing?
I think a couple of things. I think just preparing for the entry into the States in terms of having your paperwork organised, like your ESTA. And I think the second one is just being aware, especially for Aussies coming, how long the flight is. It just seemed endless. 14 hours, and that was just from Auckland. 3 hours from Melbourne to Auckland, 3.5 hours. Yeah, it is a long flight. We flew, lucky enough to fly the Dreamliner, which is designed to cut down jet lag due to the lighting and I think their filtration system or something. And surprisingly, we haven't been jet lagged really.
No.
It's just more just getting your head around what day it is and what time it is.
Correct.
But in terms of jet lag and tiredness, we've actually been fine. So that's a good sign that possibly the Dreamliner design has worked. We'll find out on the way back, however. One way is always different to the other.
Yep.
What surprised me was how easy it was to get through customs. I was expecting the third degree, the Inquisition, the lamp shining on you, and being asked all sorts of questions. And that didn't actually happen. We just stepped up, presented our passport, did the fingerprinting, didn't even ask us pretty much anything. Or in fact, no, he didn't ask us. I think he said, "Where are we going after this?" We just explained that we're on our way to Florida. He just mentioned about the hurricane, and we said, "Yes, we know," and away we went. We noticed other people. There was a couple. They might have been mother and daughter. The daughter would have been in her early 20s, probably. The fellow the customs officer was giving them a bit of a chat, and I could hear him talking about how to look after themselves in terms of sort of safety, etc. Being two women, I suppose. And then there was a young fellow across two booths down when we could hear their conversation, and because there was a young fellow by himself, he was asked all sorts of questions. How much money have you got? Do you have a return ticket? Or sort of, a few questions. They weren't interested in our ESTA. I don't know whether it was linked to our passport. There was no stamp in the passport. A little bit disappointed.
Yes, because we
would have
liked
stamps and passports.
We would have loved to have another stamp. Save the planet. Put a stamp on.
This was all done electronically, but it was really surprisingly quick. They're certainly very efficient, I can tell you, at the airport, especially this morning coming in. It was packed. We came really, really early. And we had a little bit of an issue with our tickets. We couldn't scan in the kiosk for our boarding passes, so we had to go to the counter, and she sorted it out in 1 minute. It was only because we had a change of ticket because of the hurricane. We had an extra night here.
Now, the interesting thing, folks, my suggestion, be aware when you're flying in, be aware what your connecting flights are doing so that you don't have the same issue that we did. And if you are doing your booking, we suggest the value of going through a TA because our situation was our flight was cancelled and we tried to get onto United Airlines and they didn't have a clue. They didn't care. All they wanted was for us to pay extra money to change the flight.
It was a lot of money.
Whereas with the TA, yes, okay, we had to make an overseas call to Australia, but the issue was fixed. And that made all the difference. So suggestions, guys, just be aware of what's going on, be aware of where to go, who to get help from if you need it.
Yep. I'd say because the good thing with the travel agent is you do get an emergency
Yeah.
overseas help number, 24 hours a day, and travel insurance.
Yes.
Because we have to have an extra night at the hotel due to the
Yes.
cancellation. So we're going to recheck our policy, and we've kept the receipt so that hopefully we can be refunded for that.
Now, guys, if, excuse the announcement that's going over, but as you know, we're in a public airport, so with the airport being the way it is, they've got announcements going left, right, and centre.
Very busy and very noisy.
Now, this is the interesting thing. We're just sitting at Houston Airport, and Houston Airport has got terminals, and the terminal we're sitting at here is the United Airlines terminal. Okay, Melbourne. Well, back in Melbourne, we've got Virgin and Qantas, and then of course Jetstar and Rex,
domestic.
and who else? I think Rex and there's one other. Can't remember. Anyway,
Does Tiger fly out of? There's no Tiger anymore.
there's no Tiger.
We haven't seen Bonza yet.
No, we haven't seen Bonza. But the interesting thing is, when you're looking at Houston, man, it is huge.
It's huge. It's a big airport.
It is huge, and we reckon Tullamarine would fit in Houston Airport just in the United Airlines side.
Tullamarine's Melbourne Airport.
Yeah, for those that are across the pond, Melbourne Tullamarine is Melbourne's main international airport. So we just are quite astounded by the economy of scale that's here.
Yeah, but so efficient. The lines move really quickly. And we were just discussing how I don't know if you call them, they're not attendants, but those who are supervising the line, there's a lot of shouting going on, but it's a bit slightly off-putting if you're not used to that sort of thing. Like, sort of instructions given. And it's like, I know they want people to hear you and be aware of what you're supposed to do when you get to the top of the line, but it's, okay. It's like I scare you into making sure you're doing the right thing.
Yeah, and that's the interesting thing. You look at. I mean, they are officious.
Yes, very.
They are polite, but they are officious, and they got a job to do, and they get it done. And you expect it, really.
Oh, well, when you've got that amount of people coming through, I mean, it was chockers. It was busy, but the line moved really quickly. If you're prepared, you listen to the instructions, you get your bags off, you get your shoes off, step up, and
What about things like documentation that you need to keep with you? We're finding that everywhere we go, our passport is something that you want to keep close at hand.
Yeah, pretty much.
And one of the things that we've done is we've got a debit card. It's called a worldwide card. So for Aussies and Kiwis, you can load it up with, excuse me, you can load it up with local currency.
And you can do multi-currencies as well. If you're traveling to several countries, you can do up to, I think, 5 or 6 currencies.
So what we've done with ours is we've got Aussie dollars in there, but we've also exchanged a bucket load of Aussie dollars into US. And you just use it like a normal card. Just make sure you check your balances, and then just keep on updating those balances. And you'll find that it's pretty well okay. We're finding that one of the big things that we need to be concerned about every now and then is the tipping issue. It rears its ugly head. We don't get it.
We just don't know what the expectation is. Like it was a free airport shuttle. Now, okay, he lifted the bags, our 3 suitcases, our 3 bags into the back. Okay, it's a free shuttle. Do we tip him?
How much?
End? We did. I'm not going to say how much. I'd be interested to know what would you give X amount per bag, just a blanket amount. I'd be really interested. I'm spitting at you, I'm sorry.
It's all right, honey. I need a shower. It's only you.
Well, it's just, yeah. We went and had a late supper, shall we say, last night.
Supper, that was dinner. Come on.
Well, yeah, it was really late. That was like 11,
Yeah, it was 11
p.m.
o'clock. The place we had it at is a 24-hour diner, so that was interesting.
To say the least, the characters that came in.
Yeah, but the food was all right.
Yeah, but anyway, going back to the tip, it's just, we really have no idea what we're doing. Anyway.
So we're going to end this section over here and then pick up later on once we've discovered a bit more. But folks, you know, it's worth an experience.
Oh, it sure is.
And all you've got to do is enjoy.
We just say that the Americans have been they're so gregarious, outgoing and friendly and polite. And always interested in where you come from, and they love asking about Australia or
happy for a chat.
Yeah, always. Yeah, it's been really, that's the lovely thing about being here.
All right, we'll sign off now and we'll come back to you a little later on.